Driving Success, a Fleet Advantage podcast, a show where we bring you expert insights and the latest trends going on in fleet management and transportation. I'm your host, Tracy Derival, and today we are bringing you part 2 of our Summer of Safety micro-series, focusing on Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, better known as CVSA's Operation Safe Driver Week. We are joined by Nathan Rhoads, who is our Director of Fleet Services here at Fleet Advantage. Hi, Nathan. Thank you so much for being our second guest on our 3-part series. And thank you so much for helping us kick off Operation Safe Driver Week.
Thanks so much for having me, Tracy.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about your role here at FA and also your background within the transportation industry?
Absolutely. So I'm a Fleet Services Director here with Fleet Advantage. I essentially work with the customers, supporting them with their assets from the cradle to the grave, looking for the lowest total cost of ownership. In the beginning, we may have speccing discussions to ensure that the proper asset is specced for their operations. And then midlife, we may have site visits, ensuring proper maintenance practices. And if not, then we could potentially implement and write SOPs or SWIs for them. And then the tail end, we have off-lease support for the customers as well. I've been in the industry 23-ish years at this point with a heavy maintenance background with a focus on maintenance best practices, some operational support, and capital planning strategy as well.
Now, before we dive in, can you explain to everyone what is CVSA's Operation Safe Driver Week and why is it such a significant initiative for raising awareness and improving overall driver and traffic safety?
Absolutely. So I hate to do it, but there's a ton of acronyms out there, and we're going to throw more at you. So the CVSA is the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, and it introduced the Operation Safe Driver Week in 2007 with a focus on minimizing accidents, fatalities, and injuries, and it's been reoccurring every year since then. And it's not just, I should know, it's not just commercial drivers. They do focus on passengers and buses as well. So in conjunction with the CVSA, they partnered with the FMCSA, which is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Association, along with various industry and transportation associations to take this initiative over the goal line and ensure proper road safety.
So since this is a yearly initiative, can you share some of the key focus area from 2023 and what are some of the key findings specifically when you're focused on the commercial drivers?
Absolutely. With the US and Canada, there was over 11,000 stops, resulting in 5,000 tickets and almost 6,000 warnings. And now specific to commercial drivers, there was 4,500 warnings and I believe 2,600 tickets. And the focus on that primarily was speeding. I think there was a lot of speeding infractions. 25% of all crashes since '08, speeding was a factor in that. So obviously that's why there was a focus on speeding. Also, seatbelts was a high contention point as well. Coincidentally, 14% of all commercial drivers do not wear their seatbelt on a regular basis. And obviously, distracted driving was a big one as well. Since 2019, there was 3,100 drivers, more than 3,100 drivers who've lost their lives due to distracted driving. You know, obviously, everyone knows 2024, we're joined at our hip with our phone. It's incredibly simple to hear that ding or get that phone call and want to pick up and respond, but it's incredibly crucial not to, which is obviously why they have this push.
Right. Okay. So for 2024, what are the specific areas that law enforcement will be focusing on? Do you think it will be pretty much right in the same ballpark, or do you think there will be some additional areas that they might be focusing on when it comes to the safety of commercial drivers?
Yeah, so based on the high numbers from last year, likely this year will be more of the same. There's going to be focus on speeding, distracted driving, and seatbelt usage. But more than that, if you obey traffic laws, you put down your phone, you slow down, buckle up, maintain a safe following distance, perform a thorough pre and post trip from the commercial side. You know, they're really everyday things that should be implemented anyway. And if they are implemented, should have no trouble at all during this Safe Driver Week.
Now, if you are managing a private fleet, or if I'm a driver, for example, what are some essential steps that should be implemented to ensure that your drivers are informed, or as a driver that I'm informed about Operation Safe Driver Week?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it comes down to the transportation, the operations team to not only educate the drivers, but build a safety-centric culture, right? Build safe driving habits through that culture. Right? So again, the items being reviewed are incredibly simplistic. They're generic. Everyone can do them. Buckle up, slow down, obey all traffic laws. Simple stuff. Don't pick up your phone. Don't drive distracted. Again, there's everything you can do on a day-to-day basis and should do, especially if you are in a commercial vehicle.
Now, to wrap things up, what should private fleets and drivers be doing to ensure compliance this week and beyond?
So education, right? Educate them on company policies, state and local policies. Tell your drivers what to expect if they are in fact pulled over. But more than that, it should not just be educating them for this week, right? It's not just a focus on this week. It needs to be a continued push with that safety-centric culture year round, not just 1 week at a time. A couple of things you can do: perform on-site audits, maybe do gate checks as the drivers are coming back from their route. Ensure they are buckled up, they're wearing their seatbelt properly. Maybe review OBC data, onboard computer OBC, to ensure safe driving habits, right? With that, you can review speeding, harsh cornering, harsh braking, stuff like that. And again, I want to note that it's not just commercial drivers. This is open to passenger vehicles as well. But if everyone heeds everything discussed here today, I think we're all going to be in good shape.
Right. And on that note, this ends the second episode of our 3-part series. Nathan, we just want to say thank you so much for just coming on the show and really sharing some valuable insights on strengthening traffic safety.
Of course. Thanks so much, Tracy, for having me. I appreciate it.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode with Nathan Rhoads going over Operation Safe Driver Week. Join us next time as we will be helping you and your team get ready for Brake Safety Week. If you enjoyed today's show, please share, like, and leave a review. You can listen to this episode on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. You can watch this episode on our social media platforms such as YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Until next time, let's continue to drive solutions together.